Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. I am Adam, he is Dean. We are back and we are talking Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur. We are live as well, so remember you can get your questions in, so keep your questions coming in the comments. I've got my phone here, so if you see me looking at it, I'm not texting away, I am checking out your comments. Dean, how you feeling?
Yeah, man, I'm good, innit? Like, it's been
an eventful weekend, innit?
Yeah, no, it's been alright, innit? Like, just looking forward to the game tomorrow, innit?
What have you made of the weekend's action so far? I know we're not here to talk about that, but we can do.
It's kind of, well, obviously City drew at Wolves. That was probably a bit of a surprise. I expected them to go there to win, to be honest. And the majority of other results, I think, have kind of gone to what I expected. Watford probably beating Crystal Palace, I think, today. That was probably a bit of a shock for me. Like, they've won, I think, they've won quite a few this season. So, yeah, man.
Watford 3 out of 3. That's mad.
Yeah.
City dropping points. Obviously, it's good for Manchester United in terms of if we are to take ourselves seriously in the title race and we do beat Spurs this weekend, then we're right behind them yet again. And that Brighton defeat isn't going to come back to haunt us as much, hopefully, in the long run. If we do beat Spurs tomorrow. Big game against Spurs. Monday night, under the floodlights, Old Trafford. Does it get any better than that? I know it's a Monday night, but like I know it gets better, but a big Premier League game, like it's nice to be back in it. It's something to... We've had 2 games to get warmed up. Yes, one of them was a defeat, but if we can win this game here, and we can win it in good fashion, then hopefully we can rid that Brighton game from our memories, looking at it positively.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect opportunity really to kind of right the wrongs that we did against Brighton. Is to come back against a good team. Spurs are in good, decent form themselves. Obviously, it's at Old Trafford Monday night, on like you say, under the lights. Like, I think night games in general have a different feel about them. For me as a spectator, the atmosphere is a lot different for a night game. The fact that it's Spurs, I think, will only make the crowd better. You know what I'm saying? I think there'll be a better atmosphere for that. Like, it's a big game. We need big game players to step up in it.
We have got a very good squad as well at the moment because most of our players are back now. I think Matic and Valencia may be back for the team as well. Do you think Jose Mourinho is going to ring the changes after that Brighton game? Or do you feel he will say, Bailly, Lindelof, prove that was a bad day at the office?
I don't know.
Because there's not only Bailly, Lindelof that could be changed. You could take out Pereira and or Fred, even Pogba. You could take out Martial, bring in Sanchez if he's back. So there's a lot of positions. It's not just Bailly and Lindelof that could get changed, but that was one of the key areas you'd think that if he is going to react to that defeat at Brighton and make changes, he'll change him there.
Yeah. I think personally, if Matic is match fit, which I potentially don't think he will be, I think he'd 100% start ahead of Pereira. I think he likes Matic. I mean, I personally like Matic as well. He kind of gives us a good defensive base to work from. I think Fred, to be honest, as poor as we were against Brighton, I don't think he was one of the worst culprits. So I think he should keep his place. Pogba, he had an off game. I think he should keep his place. In regards to the centre backs, I think that. Me personally, I would probably put someone in for Lindelof. To be honest, I think like for the movement that he got done for at Brighton, like Harry Kane.
Did you not feel Bailly had the worst game?
But yeah, I think Bailly had a poorer game, but I think Bailly's the better player, and I think that the mistakes he made can be corrected easier than Lindelof can. His missed time challenge, for example, for the penalty. I think you can just, you know what I'm saying, experience would just tell you just don't.
It's like when you get nervous on FIFA, just slap that square button and
just allow it. I think it's easier to rectify his, whereas I think Lindelof's, for me, like, I know it's only one goal, but that movement, I mean, come on, man, like you need to, like, and Harry Kane, you would anticipate if he starts, which I'm expecting him to. He's way more cunning than the Brighton centre forward, so that's what I would do.
Smalling's done well against Kane in the past, so it could be a game for Chris Smalling, and that is me saying that. Dele said 3-5-2. Do you think he could bring in that extra centre half to shore things up there? And Dia also says we need to play attacking football and be more consistent. I mean, I know that kind of sounds like he's stating the obvious, but that is what we need from Manchester United at the moment. A little bit more cutting edge in attack. But then last weekend our problems were at the back. and it just didn't allow us to build going forward. I do think the midfield didn't help, and I think Pereira and Fred a little bit were overrun. Pogba had an awful game, and that was because I think the first half he wasn't that bad when it was 0-0, and then once it went to 2-0, I think he just started thinking, forget everybody else, I'm trying these Hollywood passes, and he was just trying to make things come off. And I mean, a few of the passes looked good, but no one could get on the end of them, and when no one gets on the end of them, ultimately it's an unsuccessful pass, and you look bad for it. And he also had a few passes that were just generally awful. Do you think that was Pogba trying to say stand up and be counted in that game, rather than a petulant side to him?
I just think he had a poor game. I think everyone's you're gonna have a bad game from time to time. I think you can't be everyone's, you know what I'm saying, not Ronaldo or Messi at it with consistency levels, but I think it's kind of to be expected from seeing Pogba for the last couple of years. I kind of anticipate that, as good as he is technically, I think he's just got it in where he just has an off day, and everyone can have an off day, but hopefully he gets it right tomorrow. It's a big game, so in terms of his own personal motivation, I don't care what anyone says, as much as we want players to be up for the smaller games, because that's, in the last couple of years under Mourinho, that's where we've kind of struggled. We've done well against top teams, but I think it's easier to get up for the top games. Same with, it's like as fans, it's easier to be up for a Spurs game than it is for Brighton at home, for example.
That's been our problem post Fergie, really. It's that consistency in it. I mean, even under Van Gaal, we'd have great games against Manchester City, we'd beat Tottenham, we'd beat Liverpool, but we couldn't get that consistency going. We really do need to sort it out at the moment. Pratik says we have to believe in our manager. Now, do you think this team still believes in the manager? And do you think that's a fair question at this point?
I think from the outside, I think obviously the media makes this question even like a talking point. I think if the players aren't convinced with their manager, you feel like I don't think any of them play to any kind of standard. I think you kind of saw with what happened with Moyes, where he was stepping into a dressing room where he'd won less than players who were sitting there. Whereas now, I know it's obviously a completely different manager, but Mourinho's won more than anyone. Like, he's the most successful in that dressing room. He's the most successful player. Like Pogba, you've won the World Cup, fair play. Like, he hasn't won that, but you know what I'm saying. Consistently, Mourinho's is a serial winner compared to everyone in that squad. So I think if you're not gonna put your trust in a man who's been there, done it, got several T-shirts of that, and I don't know what you need to be convinced. Like, who do you think? Like, funnily enough, we're playing Spurs. Like, do you think if Pochettino walks into that dressing room, he can have that same kind of swagger where he can tell man, this is what you're doing, really? It's like, bro, you ain't won nothing.
This is the thing for me though. Like, Mourinho seems, I don't know whether that's because of the board's influence, but he seems to have lost that swagger, that look in his eye.
I don't think so.
Do you think he hasn't?
Nah, I think that's why I think he does what he does. I think.
I love the Mourinho that's an absolute bastard. Like, when he's on your side, you love him. When he's against you, you hate it. But like in that press conference this weekend, I loved it. Like, he's trying to create a siege mentality, even though he's partly to blame for the Pogba issues that have come to the forefront, even for some of his comments, and Pogba's to blame, and Pogba's agent and all that stuff. Like, he came out and he's kind of trying to create that siege mentality. He hasn't spoken about anything, and it is refreshing to see that. But I want to see it on the sidelines as well. I want to see, like, I want to see him enjoying himself.
He's gonna enjoy. He's not gonna enjoy himself. We're not winning, innit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be like, because when he's been in a winner previously, he's just mugging it. I used to.
So do you? Like, someone's pointed out that he probably just feels he can't win the league with this team. So he hasn't got that arrogance.
No, I just don't think it's not a guarantee. He was similarly the same at Madrid. Like, he was never really like over the top, because it's like you did have Barcelona there. I think. I mean, you may remember when he beat us with Porto. Like, when he ran down that line, it's because he's mugging it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's taking a mick in it. Like, but I think now, obviously, if you're not winning the league, you can't be like just trying to mock everyone else, and like, because really, what have you done for me lately? And so if you ain't won the league last year, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's not that much to cheer about. So I think he's still got it. I just think he's just keeping it under wraps, because obviously he has to be kind of humble in it. Like, not everything isn't going our way at the moment, so it's not really the time to be like laughing and joking and serious, and like I think as much as people like there's a portion of people who don't like him. Like me personally, I think this is the biggest job he's ever gonna get for me, and I think he knows that himself. Like that's why it's like. Again, I'm not gonna start feeling to.
From here, where does he go in it? He can't.
This is what I'm saying. Where do you go after?
He's already been to Real Madrid. They're unlikely to
He's
take
never
him
going
back.
Barca. Never going back to Barca.
Chelsea's never going to go back unless there was a new owner there.
You don't think he'd still never go back?
But if there was a new owner there, it's different, innit? Like
After
it's not to the same Chelsea.
Yeah, but after you've been to United.
But like right now, he's not going back there. Porto, no. Like I always imagined he'd like to try his hand at international management one day, and maybe try and win the World Cup or something. But I thought he would try and do that like. With Ronaldo in the team, you know, something like that. Go to Portugal with a Ronaldo and try and do. But this is the only job for him now. Like, if he doesn't succeed here, his stock is gonna have fallen massively.
I don't think. I disagree. No, I think.
I think that's a good thing though, because it'll force him to.
I don't think. We've got like a formidable opponent in Man City. Really, as much as I hate to say, it, they are. You know what I'm saying? They've got a squad that's been put together that is class, you know what I'm saying? They've got abundance of talent, they've got money for days, and obviously like we're not in the same business model as them, you know what I'm saying? So obviously when he's kicking off about investment, I've never heard Pep say anything about there's not enough investment in the squad forthcoming, because it's always forthcoming. Your man bought like a 20 mil goalkeeper one season who's useless. Your man just go spend 35 mil on another keeper. I know that sounds cheap now because obviously like Alisson going for 65 mil, but City and that, when they've got problems, they just identify that and just pay the money. That he said, I need a couple wing backs. We just spend 100 mil on a couple wing backs for you, and that. Like Cole Walker, arguably the best right back in the world for me. Like when you're able to do that, it's different than at United. He's having to sign the lot. Again, I haven't really seen as much. I haven't seen much of him. If anything,
positives is he's back in training now, so we could even see him on the bench. I would like to see him on the bench. And you know, if you're leading, you can bring him on. I don't want to throw him in the deep end or anything because it's a long-term thing with him. But it would be nice to see him involved. And if Valencia is back, he's probably not going to be able to play a full 90 minutes if he's just come back from injury. Valencia is one that I really do hope's back. I thought Young was poor.
Yeah, Young is poor, but
defensively he's so poor.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, he's right-footed, but for me he's more useful as a left back than he is a right back.
That predictable cutting.
Yeah, but just defensively he's awful. Like, I don't know. Like fair play to him. He played through the World Cup for England and if anyone would have ever suggested he'd be left back for England at World Cup, you know what I'm saying, at his age. But I personally, as much as I kind of prefer Valencia to be there, he's awful going backwards as well. Like
I think they're both lack going forward. I don't think we get enough for them going forward, and I think they both have their problems defensively.
I think me personally, it's like if I was an opposition manager, they're the kind of place I'll be suggesting get at him, get at Valencia. But hopefully he comes back in it. But because I for sure I hope Ashley Young ain't playing right back, because boy they'll get like Lucas Moura looks like he's in good form for Spurs.
He is at the moment.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see that.
Don't want to see that at all. What team do you want to see? If you can give me an 11 right now.
Obviously you
10 because of the hair.
Yeah, obviously there is a shooting. Left back Luke Shaw. Me personally, I would go with Bailly and Smalling. Popular opinion. If Valencia's fit, obviously
you don't think we're gonna go with a back three?
I don't see the point. I think they're gonna play one up top, innit? They're gonna play obviously Alli and Moura kind of floating around him. 3 centre backs against one. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just have 2 centre backs and play with the wing backs, because you're gonna be wasting a defender, in my opinion, if you've got 3 at the back.
Some would say Lindelof's better in a 3.
But that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's because you're not. If you're saying that, it's just because you're not good enough on your own, innit? Like if you need further cover, you need another man to cover you. Then obviously he's not good enough. Like,
but is the back 3 not useful to us because of the fact that our fullbacks aren't great?
Well, I think they're maybe not great defending, so I think obviously it gives us more cover. But at the same time, I think sometimes you have to look at the opposition, and I think if like I said, they're only going to play one up top. So if you play one up top, it's just, to me, you're wasted. Like it's a negative approach, because you're going to just have another man sitting at the back.
Pratic says he wants De Gea, Valencia, Bailly, Smalling, Shaw. Sorry, I cut you off. Give you a team again.
Yeah, so it'd be De Gea, Shaw, Boy, Smalling. People probably don't agree, like, but I'll put Smalling there. Right back, I'd say Valencia. If he's fit, I'd have Matic, Fred, and Pogba. Up front, I'd have Sanchez, Lukaku, and I'd like to say Rashford, but I don't think he's consistent. I'll say Rashford, but for me, he just needs to be more consistent in terms of his finishing. But I think that's, to be honest, if we pick a team like that, I think we win. But that's who I'd like to see personally. I want to see, as much as I like seeing Pereira alongside Fred and Pogba, I want to see Matic alongside them. Like, I think
I think Pereira will have his games where he's a better option. I don't think it's a punishment by not bringing Pereira in for this game. I just think with the likes of Dembele, Eriksen, so on, like, just get Matic in there. It was an interesting battle between Dembele and Pogba in the 2 Wembley games. Like, Dembele won the League One, Pogba won the Cup one, waits him for one of the goals. And that'll be an interesting battle again if Dembele plays. I don't think he's started any games this season.
I don't think he has either.
I think they go with Dyer, Eriksen, Alli, Wanyama.
Has Wanyama been playing?
I don't know. Let's have a look at their 11s. But the lineup I would go with would be David De Gea in goal, Valencia at right back, Luke Shaw at left back. I think he might go with the back 3, which would be Bailly, Lindelof and Smalling. But I'd persist with the back 4 and Bailly and Lindelof. If they fuck up, then you know what, it's a bit peak in it. But I think you have to give them a run. They have to build something. We are relying on these guys to deliver, and I think just showing that faith in them could be better than pulling them out. You get me? So I'd go with them both again, and then I'd go with Matic, Fred and Pogba, so the same midfield, and up top Martial scored against these last season, and I enjoyed seeing Romelu Lukaku isolate one of their centre halves, Martial running in behind, and I think that could be useful again. We could do it with Rashford though as well. And I would go with Martial and Lingard with Lukaku. Sanchez is just back, so I don't know whether he goes straight back into the team.
I know Sanchez loses the ball a lot, but it's like, to me,
that's not me saying anything bad about Sanchez.
Yeah, I hear that, but I'm just saying, like, as much as some people get onto Sanchez, and I know he hasn't had the best start to United, but to me, it's at times I think he just looks like the best spark in our team. I know he gives the ball away a bit, but I think that, to be honest, that's what we missed against Brighton, was someone like Sanchez. Like, personally, I think Sanchez is a must. But to be honest, I mean, I said Rashford, but to be honest, I do like Lingard. I do like Lingard, like that.
Lingard in these games. What about Herrera? Jev says it in the comments as well. Is this a game for Herrera?
If Matic ain't fit, I think if Herrera's ready to play, then I think I would go with him over. I don't think Pereira should start. Whatever happens, no disrespect to him, but I think that in this game, obviously, we need someone more experienced. Potentially, but I wouldn't be surprised if he played Fellaini, to be honest, because I think obviously they're quite a physical team. Spurs are, and I think that you need really a Matic or like a Fellaini. I think just to kind of match up with them physically.
I think Fellaini is someone you bring from the bench.
I don't know.
Because we haven't really got that presence off the bench for a plan B. Me personally, I just think that because of how Spurs play, I think you need to not concede. As much as obviously the onus is kind of upon us to go and attack, you don't want to concede, and I think they can hit you on a counter attack. And I think that just knowing Mourinho, I think he'd always look to shore it up, and I think that's what. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts Fellaini tomorrow at all. If he starts Fellaini. What do you guys think in the comments? Let us know your thoughts. Will Fellaini start that game tomorrow? This was the last 11 from Spurs' victory against Fulham. Hugo Lloris in goal, Davinson Sanchez, Vertonghen, Alderweireld in a back 3. Eric Dyer sitting in front of them. Davis, Eriksen ahead of him. Trippier, Alli providing the width. And Lucas and Harry Kane up top. Lucas Moura. This is probably why a lot of people, including myself, think Jose may go with the back three, match them up. It's something he likes to do and he has done in the past. Weird to see Dele Alli out in a wide area. Could he cause problems? So who would be playing there? He's on the left there, isn't he? So he would be against our right back. Dele Alli against Ashley Young or Valencia. Do you fancy that battle?
Personally, I don't think Dele Alli ever looks to get past you on the wing. Like, he's obviously always looking to cut inside. He's not really an orthodox winger where he's not gonna ever look to go past you and whip the ball in on his left. He's, from what I've ever seen him, he's got quite good pass completion. He don't really like to give the ball away. So I don't ever see him looking to trouble you on the outside. But obviously, it's him drifting inside.
Tottenham are missing Wanyama and Janssen and Foyth, so he doesn't matter. But Wanyama's probably their only big miss. So it's surprising that Dembele isn't starting if Wanyama's out.
But he's not had a long pre-season. Obviously, he was with...
That's true as well. Yeah.
With the Belgium team. So.
But Dyer came back same period, didn't he?
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't really play.
Playing like that, but.
Very, very true. And Dembele was on the bench for them, as was Aurier, Sissoko, Vorm, Lamela, Winks, and Danny Rose, who could be playing for them. They've got a very strong team in it, even though they haven't made any signings this summer. They've got a very, very strong team. Still held on to Toby Alderweireld. And what do you think of
Pochettino? He's a good manager in terms of, I think he did well with Southampton.
No son for them as well.
Oh, well, he's got to play for South Korea or he gets some national service or some mad thing. Apparently, I'm sure they have to, whatever competition they have to win, or your man gets sent to do. Didn't that happen
to Park Ji-sung as well? He had to, but then he kind of got out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure like Fergie told a story of Vidic coming to him and saying like, "Yo, I'm going off to the army to fight for Serbia." And Fergie was laughing at him. How you had about, bro? You're a footballer and that. And you had to tell him like, "You're not going." But Vidic felt like he had a duty to, like he would in it. That's a great story, I think. I would love to have been a fly on the wall in those kind of meetings. I got asked today on 5 Live if I have any mementos or lucky superstitions, like socks or pants or whatever. And I don't in it. I couldn't think of anything. And then I thought Sir Alex Ferguson was probably mine. Shit's gone wrong since Fergie left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like goals, you get me. It's a big peak.
No gold medal equals 2 years military service, says John.
That's mad. That is.
Is that true?
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's what he said. I'm like,
that's actually true.
It's been reported that like basically if he doesn't win whatever competition it is, your man has to do national service.
So hold on a minute. I've got some mad image right now. What's his name? Hong Min Song.
Song Min Song or something. Yeah.
We've got to the quarterfinals of the Asian Games, by the way. So it's still alive for them. But he can be exempt from military service if... Let's see what's going on here. But yeah, Manchester United versus Spurs, Monday Night Football, 8 p.m. UK time under the floodlights at Old Trafford. Myself and Dean are going to be there as well. We'll do a match day vlog, all that stuff for you too. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled, eyes and ears peeled. You're going to be on Full-Time Devils as well, yeah?
Yeah, man.
You're going to jump on?
Yeah, give it straight up, innit? It's got to be done.
Make sure you subscribe into Straight Up, which is below. Yes, so the Spurs international will be required to enroll in the military unless he is able to win the Asia Games with South Korea. Wow.
That's some pressure, that is like. You know.
That is like...
Yo, if you don't win,
I imagine the military service that he would sign up for would be like probably cleaning toilets on a boat somewhere and probably fighting on the front line.
I think you have to like basically it's like what you would do if you was in the army. You do the first 2 years or whatever they do. Okay. Obviously, this country used to have it years ago.
Imagine that he just comes back wham, ready for the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't know. Why 2 years when career done?
They'll find something to
like a loophole. Pardoned or something in it, or I don't know, money talks in it.
Because he is doing his country a service just by balling in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like kind of he's promoting them. So
Philip thinks it's going to be 2-2 tomorrow. What's your score?
I'm quite optimistic. I think we win 3-1.
I am always optimistic when it's Spurs, and that's what's worrying me right now. My optimism. We just got dicked by Brighton, who got beat by Watford.
Yeah.
And I am confident that we'll beat Spurs, who are one of the best teams in the Premier League. Not better than us on last year's league table.
Yeah.
But very good team. And it's weird that I'm confident for this game. I don't know whether it's just like... I'm trying to fight this negativity, man. I just want to be positive.
I think that obviously they've got a good squad in it. They've got a good manager. I think we got a better manager. And I think we got a better squad. And those combined for big games.
I don't think we got a better defence.
I think we got a better squad than them in it.
I think we may have a better midfield selection, and even though Eriksen
walks into their team.
Yeah, Pogba walks into their team. But who else?
Who else? Kane against Lukaku. I don't know. Like,
who
Lukaku,
else though?
Who would get into our team from?
From their midfield.
I think we take
who would replace their midfield apart from Pogba? I don't think Matic gets in their team.
I'd have Matic over Dyer all day.
Yeah, that's true actually. Sorry.
All day?
Sorry, yeah, you are right. I apologise. Matic, Pogba, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'd have Martial over Son, Rashford. I know Son's sick and he banged in 20 goals last season, but
yeah, he's a good
I wouldn't swap.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, I hear you. But I do think Kane's better than Lukaku at the moment.
You think what? He's better than Lukaku?
Yeah, at the moment.
I don't know. I think as much as obviously Kane won the Golden Ball or whatever at the World
Cup. I think Lukaku had a better World Cup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think performance-wise, I think Lukaku had a way superior World Cup, but obviously Kane scores goals when he's not even looking off his heels and stuff like. And
but I think in terms of his all-round play, I think Kane's just better than him.
On his day, he's his hold-up playing. He's one of the best, to be honest.
Kane in our team, we win the league. Maybe. We probably don't create a chance for him, but
that's what I'm saying.
Because last season, let me just say this, like Romelu Lukaku got 27 goals, which is his record goal tally in a season, and we didn't create as many chances as Spurs create for Harry Kane. So he could argue if he was in Tottenham's team, I would bang as many goals as Kane.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if Kane maybe shadows him a bit.
I think TJ's got a point. He goes, Eriksen could walk into our team, and I think that's very true.
Yeah, I never said anything about Eriksen. Let's get that straight. I think he's a good
player.
Matic,
Pogba, Eriksen would be the midfield three if you combine them, innit?
But I don't know. As much as I think he's really effective for Spurs, but I don't think. I think Eriksen's a class player, but to me, I wouldn't have him. I wouldn't if he become available, I wouldn't never say, let's go sign Eriksen.
If I combine the team, I'd go Dele in goal, Trippier right back, left back, Danny Rose.
Nah, man.
Luke Shaw.
Yes, not probably not on. Well, I'd say
based on form, you have to go Danny Rose.
You don't even know how they play.
He's been playing.
He played a bit more last season, but I don't think he's played.
Centre halves: Alderweireld, Vertonghen, or Alderweireld and Bailly. That's kind of unfair to Vertonghen, you know.
Vertonghen's a decent.
Yeah, I reckon Alderweireld, Vertonghen, you know, because Bailly's Brighton game is going to make me look stupid. So you got to go with Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Trippier, and Shaw. So we'll squeeze one United player in.
Well, unformed.
De Gea,
you know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Unformed, you know what I'm saying?
De Gea in goal. So it's 3-2 Spurs at the moment. In the midfield, Matic, Pogba, Eriksen. So it's 4-4. Up top, Kane. Martial, Alexis. What do you reckon?
You probably have to... In the Prem... You probably have to put Alexis and Dele Alli, you know. I think.
Oh yeah, that's very true. I don't like Dele Alli.
I think as
that's
much as obviously
based on form. But if I was a manager, I'd be telling Martial yo, Tony, you are the best player in the world, boy. And he would get super gassed and he'd go out on the pitch and tear it up. So I would pick Martial and Alexis. But based on form, Dele Alli makes sense.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. Just head to head, I think you. In the Premier, I think you'd take Dele Alli over Rashford. Not maybe on raw talent, but performances.
I suppose. But that's a good team. I think with Vertonghen and Alderweireld in our team and Trippier, probably win the league.
That's a lot of money that is in this day's market. That's what I'm saying. That's a different Well, again, but we still don't.
But then again, we could have got Trippier ages ago if we really wanted to. Even though he come from City and whatnot, but.
You come from anyone from City. You come from Sheffield United.
He played for City though. He did play for City. I've seen him in a City shirt.
I'm sure he was at Sheffield or Burnley or something.
Nah, he came through at Burnley and then I think he went to City.
Was he at Sheffield United before them or something?
No, he came through at City.
Okay.
His youth career started at City, and then he went to Barnsley on loan, Burnley on loan, joined Burnley, made his thing at Burnley, and then went to Tottenham. We should have kept him up north. You get me? As soon as Burnley, we should have said, right, we need a right back.
But as much as people say stuff like this, it's like it's not that.
But if that shows our policy over the last year hasn't been good enough.
Going into the United team is way different than going into a Spurs team.
But it's better than everything we've got right now, bro.
Yeah, no, but it's like when certain players at smaller clubs they flourish. It's because it's not a high pressure environment, and like, sometimes I just think that obviously like players will like for them to come through. If there's anywhere else, it probably won't happen. But that's how it goes. But I don't. It's hard to come through at United. Like if you think of it, if Rashford don't score and all them, like if you don't score on his debut, don't score against Arsenal, if you don't keep scoring, you'd never hear Rashford again.
Yeah, it's true.
He scored like 8 goals in that first half of the season, and it's like if you don't score that many goals, you don't ever hear about. As good as he may be, you don't hear about him again. Like, so,
you looking forward to the game tomorrow?
Yeah, like I said, obviously it's evening game, and
we're gonna be in the Stretford then.
Obviously evening game, like. I can't. Me personally, and obviously now, obviously it gets a bit dark a bit earlier and that, so it's like I don't know, man. Like I kind of, I always associate football with dark. You know what I'm saying? Probably cold. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. So it's good. Like it's good, man. Like I'm not. Again, I think the atmosphere is better at night. Obviously, like it's later in the day, so I don't know. People's probably had 1, 2 drinks. You know what I'm saying? On the vibes and that. Obviously go to the game, and obviously it's against a big team. Obviously it's on TV. What more do you need? You know what I'm saying? What more motivation do you need? So it should be good. I'm looking forward to it.
What's your score prediction?
Like I said, 3-1. I think I don't know how we score, but I think we do. I think they will score. That's probably a problem for us at the minute. But I think at Old Trafford, I think Mourinho's got to beat in a Pochettino.
I think we beat Spurs tomorrow, maybe 1-0, bit like last season, but it would epitomise United in this last week where you'd have us losing against Brighton and then beating Spurs. It would kind of epitomise United in the last couple of years, which would be really, really frustrating. But yeah, looking forward to that game tomorrow. Guys, remember, we'll be having a match day vlog after the game. We'll have the live match day reaction stream from Old Trafford as well. I'm sure Dean will jump on that while we're walking back to the car. You know the usual drill. And of course, fan cams and all that stuff will be on full-time Devils. Apart from that, this has been the Manchester United against Spurs preview. We are predicting United wins, which is shock after last season. Get some of your predictions in and I'll read some of those out. But if you're looking for more content from over the weekend, you could head over to the BBC iPlayer if you want to check us out on the show earlier on today on 5 Live. It was between 12 and 1. It's called The Squad. I should have knew that. I was also on Soccer AM's live show yesterday, so you can go and check that out as well. Full-time Devils, I was on their preview. I was on the fan phoning. Go and check those out. I've started taking over the radio somehow this week, so I'm going to try to keep that up. Maybe we can get Straight Up on the radio as well. It's going to happen. Make sure you subscribe to Straight Up. The link is in the description below. Subscribe to McKola TV. Like, comment, and share. Thank you for watching. Pratik's is going to be 2-1. Mohamed's is going to be. Paul Mellis is going to be 1-0 to Manchester United. You guys keep your thoughts coming in the comments below. Ines is the only one to predict the Spurs win, which is unfortunate. But like I say, the rest of the guys in the comments did predict a Manchester United win, as did us guys. Here, what was you about to say?
I was just gonna, obviously been pretty positive, but I'm just thinking what happens if we do, or what happens if we do not get.
Is this a must-win game?
I don't think it's not must-win, but it's.
Could you see Jose be sacked if we're embarrassed at home by Spurs?
It's not going to get sacked. It's not going to get sacked.
I don't think it would deserve to be sacked.
I'm just thinking in terms of the team, like the actual team. Like if we were to get beat 2 out of 3 in, you know what I'm saying, a league, like that's bad. That is, you know what I'm saying. That's a bad start. That is, it is and obviously we've seen in the past that you need to start quickly. So it's an important game. It's not a must-win, but
by that same token, if we do win, we're on 6. City are on 7. It's not that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's early to start looking at points and.
No, I think you have to. The days are gone where
I
remember
think
when you
it's-
could
yeah.
lose 6 games,
Yeah, nah,
3 games. You
yeah.
can't lose like that.
Yeah, nah, I hear that in it, but I'm just thinking in terms of, you're not gonna start looking at positions and that, but I think just you won't like in terms
No,
of
you
need to be
can't
getting
win
as
the
close
league
to-
this time.
You can lose it definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But in terms of, I'm just thinking like just against yourself. Like if you got me personally, I think you should be looking to win your first 6 games. It's as hard as it is, but you need to be getting as close to that as possible. Like 8 out of 18 points, the first 18 points, and we need to be getting 15 really. Like for me, we need to win our next the next 4 games or whatever. Like to just from like I say, the bar that's been set by City, even if they don't hit it themselves, that's what was set last season. It could change later on in the season. Obviously, it's a long season, but
And the team that's won 3 out of 3 look good as well. Watford. On a title charge apparently. Not mentioning the other team. We're not doing it.
But
Not-
again, it's like
not round
they
here.
just like they slapped up Brighton. You know what I mean?
Well, they won 1-0 and Glenn Murray should have scored this absolute seer.
But he did
Which
have.
is frustrating.
You know what I'm saying? He's flipping finessing against De Gea, doing some.
Dinks.
That's what I'm saying. Like some.
We're supposed to end this positively, you know. So we're going to do this again. Dean, what's your score prediction for the Monday?
3-1 and Lukaku's gonna get a brace.
I'm going 1-0. Anthony Marshall scored the winner last season, so I'll go 1-0 Marcus Rashford this time around. Guys, thank you for watching. It has been eventful. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Get locked into Straight Up as well if you haven't seen the channel. We're recording another podcast this week. It won't be today or tomorrow. It will probably be Wednesday though. If you've got any topic suggestions, let us know in a bit.